All right, Huber.
Sup.
The E3 preparations are starting.
It has begun.
Yeah. So this is Judges Week, and so there's a lot of people in town showing off games. And I filled in for Brandon on one while he was out, and it's from a publisher called Nexon. They're publishing a game from a new studio called Final Strike Games. And they're revealing this basically kind of arena shooter. It's team-based. It's 3-on-3, and it's called Rocket Arena. And I guess
Catchy name, catchy title.
the concept, more or less, is it's a shooter where nobody dies. So rather than just blowing people's heads off, you shoot them with rockets, and you're trying to push them out of the arena.
Got it.
So
okay.
it's like Smash Brothers with guns in a way.
Cool.
So kind of the idea is like when you hit them with one of your rockets, then I think there are like multiple like health bars or whatever, and so like once you get them down to like orange, then then you hit them again and it knocks them farther. And then when there's a point when like your health bar will get into like this like flashing red danger zone.
Mm-hmm.
And if you shoot somebody with that, it's like doing a smash attack with somebody that's got like 200%. They just fly out of the arena.
Nice.
And then when you get knocked out, there's kind of like sometimes I think this may be one of the things they may end up improving as it goes further. Like you kind of have like this long like fly back to kind of like spawn point or whatever. And then in sort of the main like arena mode, the way that you kind of get points is that it feels sort of like Battlefield in a way to like you know how you've got like all the flags or whatever.
Yeah.
So like each character has like 3 badges, and so when you get a knockout on somebody, like you deplete their badges.
Got it.
And so like when everyone on the team has lost all their badges, that's when the other team wins.
Got it.
And so even if you lose all your badges, you're still in the fight.
Got it. So everyone on your team. So if you have no badges, you want to be defensive and get in the way of your friends that do have badges? Because if you die, it doesn't matter?
Yeah, I think that could help, yeah.
Okay, cool. I like that strategy.
Distract people, you know.
That's fun.
But
That's my specialty.
I think that's good because then you're not just like sitting there watching like somebody else's cam or something like that. If you're not very good, you know, like you can just...
And it never turns into like a 3v1 or a 3v2.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the speed like? Is this like a Quake, Unreal, twitchy shooting with rockets, or are we a little slower?
It's not super fast, but the arenas are pretty small.
Mm-hmm.
Like you see the other team like within a couple of seconds.
Got it.
Like there's a little bit of a middle ground. Another thing that was interesting to me is that there's a lot of focus on platforming. So like before we actually played any matches, they had us do a tutorial, and like there's double jumps and triple jumps and rocket jumps.
Nice.
So like you can shoot the ground to like boost yourself up with a rocket.
High skill cap.
There's a thing that I don't think I've seen before where you can literally like climb a vertical wall by repeatedly rocket jumping down at like an angle.
Whoa.
So you can shoot and go up and kind of ratchet your way up.
Fun.
And so you could keep doing that like depending on how many rockets. I think like the character I was trying with had like 3 or 4 rockets. So when you need to reload, then like you're out of shots to be able to do that. But otherwise, you can just like keep moving yourself up a wall. So I'm really curious to see arenas where that kind of thing is very necessary.
Yeah.
They also...
Because that adds so much depth to the game. If it was just an open arena and everyone was just shooting rockets, it would get pretty old pretty fast. But if you're climbing all over the place and double jumping, triple jumping, rocket jumping, that's exciting.
Yeah, and there were like a lot of places where there were like archways and things so you could get under environments and things like that and kind of hide out.
Do you have any other tools other than the rocket launcher?
So I saw a bunch of different characters, and it looks like, people have not only different tools, but different types of rockets as well. So there's one girl named, I think Kaylee. She would look like kind of like a ice princess, sort of like a crossbow. And so you could shoot like a normal shot, or you could charge it up and shoot a more powerful shot. But then she also had like an alternate thing that was like she like threw like a bomb that like puts down like this area of effect, like little ice sphere, and so enemies in that sphere are slowed down, but if you're inside of it, you're sped up.
Fun.
And so yeah, so it's just like this little like, okay, I gotta like learn. Like I was actually like moving a little bit too fast. Like, oh whoa, okay, gotta try to keep up.
Awesome.
Yeah, the character designs kind of like remind me of something along the lines of like Overwatch or a Rare game.
Cool.
There's one woman named, I think, Izel or something, who looked a lot like Cameo to me. It's kind of like an Indian kind of vibe to her. There is Amphora, looked kind of like She-Ra to me. There's this guy named J2 who I kind of like looked like Nathan Drake, but with like this big old like anime hair in the front. There's a little kid named Plink that reminded me of Knack. He had like this almost like a Thanos gauntlet kind of thing on his hand. I don't know. I don't think I used him, so I don't know what he does. So I think there's like
Colorful
probably
cast.
a lot of variety, and like I said, like I noticed differences in like just people's rockets. Like you had rockets that were like very straightforward. But then you had some that were more like grenade launchers that have an arc to them and kind of bounce long before they explode. And there are also some pickups in the map, so like you can like grab bombs to throw. So like a lot of I think there are like a lot of nuances to figure out in terms of things that you can do. In terms of gear, I'm trying to remember some of the things I saw. Like one of them had like a grappling hook kind of thing. So like you could shoot it out and then like just pull really fast towards a point, and then the pirate guy has like this explosion to where like he like area of effect like a whole bunch of people around him like within a sphere. So yeah, I think that they're probably doing a lot to try to like make each of those characters feel very different.
Cool. How many maps were there?
I don't know. So here's one of the crazy things about this. I thought Judges Week, I haven't really participated in Judges Week before. It's usually Brandon that goes to most of those appointments. I thought that like it would be a pretty small pool of people, but it was like they were trying to like rotate people in and out of there really quickly.
Yeah.
So in addition to the regular mode that I talked about, where it's just kind of like, kind of kill count kind of thing, there was kind of like a control zone kind of thing. So basically what would happen is it's like these huge rockets would come down and land on the map, and then you'd have to get in the zone and try like control the zone. But what's really funny though is when the rocket's incoming, you can see where the rocket's gonna land, and if you're like too close to it, then you'll actually get hit by the rocket's impact.
Whoa.
Before it becomes a capture point.
Got it. Yeah.
So that was interesting. And then the mode that I liked the most is what is it? Let me see. I think it's just called Rocket Ball. And so there's literally kind of like soccer ball, volleyball kind of thing, like in the center of the map that you grab and you're trying to get in the other team's goal.
Rocket League style.
And what's kind of the way it works is the first round it's in the center, and so it's whichever team scores first. And then when you get scored on, the team that got scored on starts with the ball. And then has to like try to get it across the map to the other team's goal. Cool. But you can actually like toss the ball too. So like there's this element of like if you can coordinate well, like you can get up to a point and then like pass it to a teammate. Nice. You can actually like throw it into the goal rather than like doing capture the flag where you have to like literally walk it in. So there was a lot of different strategy to that, I think. And when we're in those matches, the other team, like, they all went with the Blastbeard, the pirate guy.
Yeah,
and so they're like moving forward. It's this like big unstoppable force of pirates. I'm like, okay, like you figured out like this guy's tech.
Meta.
Yeah.
All Blastbeard.
And there's also in one of those matches there was like a defensive element to where there were like these like jaguar head statues, and so if you shot the jaguar head, then these like missiles, there would be like an airstrike that would come in from above. So if like the other team was like getting close to your goal, like you could like knock them out that way.
Cool.
So
any leveling up or cosmetics, loot
there
boxes?
were cosmetics. There are artifacts that you can, like, equip one artifact, and so it'll do different things. Like, you can jump higher while you're standing, or like you can have more speed, or like just there was probably a couple of dozen of those that you could equip one of at a time. There are different costumes, and then you could also customize like the rocket trail.
Cool.
Or I think it was like the trail of like when you get hit, something like that, like some kind of like just whatever color. Like if you want to have like a rainbow flying out of you or
Cool.
something, you could do that.
Cool.
So I did poke around through that a little bit, but I don't know exactly how they'll be implemented in the final game, or whether it'll be free to play or cheap to play or something like that. I mean, it does feel like they're targeting like this broad family-friendly kind of audience with the no kills thing. So yeah, curious to see how it'll turn out, and like what their exact plans are for it going down the road. But there's a pre-E3 event, so we should see more about E3 for sure.
Yeah. Seems like a cool battle game, you know? Like, I like the idea of all these subtle abilities for each character, you know? And just obviously the team element. Like, it seems like 3-on-3 specifically means it's so important to be working with your team.
Yeah.
So I imagine just that team element being so heightened in this.
And again, like the way that everything that they've organized, it seems like this is meant to like keep you in the game at all times. Like you're not, like trying to catch up to your buddies on the map or anything. Like there's just
bam, bam,
there's
bam.
always something to do, and I think that like that's why like I think they might tweak like how you come back into the match, because sometimes you get flung really far out. It's like, okay, I've got to wait till I fly in.
Yeah.
But everything else seems to be like very focused on like just keeping the action going at all times.
Nice.